right, it is math time. You have your quiz today, but before we do our quiz, we're going to review our multiplication that we've been doing lately with our carrying, and we'll even look at the page that you'll be doing today before I talk through the quiz with you. Okay? So I know I'm like my words, but I know you get what I'm saying. Because you get me, third grade. You get me. Even if nobody else does, you get me. That's because you've had to deal with my craziness all year. But you're still here, so. Okay, so let's practice and review what we do. The first thing we do is cover over the tens place. So now it looks like the problems that we've done all year long with our two numbers on the top times one number on the bottom. 34 times 3. We always start with our ones place, multiply ones place, and then the tens place. So do my 4 times 3 first. My 2 comes down with a plus 1 over the tens place, and then multiply going across. 3 times 3, 9 plus 1 is 10, and put my 10 right in front of my 2, okay? So 1 0 goes right in front of my 2, so 34 times 3 is 102. Cross out my carryover, put a 0, first thing, put the 0, don't forget to put the 0, first thing, put the 0, don't forget to put the 0, 0 goes on the bottom, make sure to put it there. And I can't think of a rhyme to go with there. So there. Okay, anyway, that's fine. Just make sure to put the 0 there, please, okay? After that, we are going to cover over our ones place. And now we are doing the same thing that we did, except for everything on the top gets multiplied by the tens place. 34 times 6. And we always start with the ones place. 4 times 6 equals 24. My 4 is here. My 2 goes on top with a plus sign. That's why I crossed this other one off, so I don't get it confused. Now when I multiply my tens place times my tens place, 3 times 6, 18. Don't worry about the 1 because it's crossed out. Now I do plus 2. 18 plus 2 is 20. And that's what I'm going to write underneath. So my answer is 2040 for the second partial product. Now I simply add my partial products together. 2 plus 0, 4 plus 0, 1 plus 0, 0 plus 2. Yes, and once I add that together, that is my final product. I'm done. That's all that you have to do in order to do these problems. And I know you know them because I've watched your, looked at your pages, and you guys have been doing wonderfully with that. So keep that up. But it's good to review to make sure that we get it down each time. Cover over the tens place because we always start with the ones place. So 59 times 9. 9 times 9 equals 81. Remember, the 1 comes down and the 8 goes on top. That's 80, tens place, 1, ones place, 81. So make sure we don't switch them because sometimes we'll do that. But remember, that would be 18, 10, 1 in the tens and 8 in the ones. So we don't want that. We want 81, okay? Then we multiply 5 times 9. 45 plus 8. Oh, I heard somebody. Yes, 53. So my answer would be 531. Cross off my carryover number and then put my 0 and then cover over my ones place. And now I'm simply multiplying 59 times 1 or 59 times 10. 9 times 1, 9. 5 times 1, 5. And I don't add anything up top because there's nothing else to add up there. That's why we crossed out the 8 because that was already used. Now I add my partial products together. 1 plus 0, that had to be there, 1. 3 plus 9, carry over the 1. 1 plus 5 plus 5, 11. 1,121. And isn't it interesting that 590 times the tens place is going to, or 59 times the tens place is going to equal 590? That's because that's what 10 times 59 is equal to, right? So that's the ways that we can, think that through and check ourselves. Then, again, cover over the tens place. And you are simply multiplying 27 times 8. 7 times 8, 56. My 6 goes down. My 5 goes up with a plus sign in front of it. Now I multiply my tens place. 2 times 8, 16 plus 5, 21. And then cross out that carryover number because we're not going to use it again because we already used it for this side, for the first partial product. Put my 0 first thing, put my 0 first thing, put my 0 first thing. Don't forget to put it there, please. Then we cover over the ones place, and now we're multiplying 27 times 4. Start with 7 times 4. We always start with our ones place. 7 times 4, 28. My 8 comes down. My 2 goes on top with a plus sign above the crossed out carried from the last problem that we did. And now it's 2 times 4 plus 2, which equals 10. Very good. Put your comma, because it is thousands place, and add 6 and 0, 1 and 8, 2 plus 0, and 0 plus 1. Yes, good. And if you recognize, there's another thing that when you are adding, when you are doing it, if you put the 0 in the ones place, then the top number in the ones place should be the same number in the ones place for your answer. So if you did it correctly, otherwise, if you're adding something else and getting a different number, it's not going to be the same number. 2 plus 0 is 2, 1 plus 0 is 1, 6 plus 0 is 6. So that might help you to recognize too, to make sure to put your 0 there. All right, cover over the tens place. 84 times 5. What is 4 times 5? It's just 20. 0 comes down. 2 with a plus sign. Make a nicer 0 than that. There we go. And now 8 times 5. 8 times 5 is 40 plus 2, 42. Then cross out my carryover number, my carried number, and put my 0 underneath. So what should my answer be if you listen to what I just said? My answer under here should be 0, because these are, whatever this top number is, it should be the same, okay? Now I'm covering over my ones place, and now I'm doing 84 times 7. 4 times 7, 28. 8 comes down, plus 2, and now 8 times 7, 56 plus 2, 58. 8, 5, and don't forget our comma because we're in the thousands place. 0 and 0, 0, see they're equal. 8 and 2, 0 and 1, and 8 and 4, 3 and 1, and 1 and 5, 6, and put your comma. All right, so really just reminding yourself of doing those correctly. Watch back through them. If you're still not sure and you're still struggling, watch it again and check it carefully. You do know how to do those, and most of you have gotten it. So I'm very proud with what you're doing. All right, so page 303 or 305, sorry. You've got story problems to start with. Let's look at the first one, and I'll talk you through it. Jacob and Elijah each have 32 marbles. So it doesn't mean that all together they have 32 marbles. No, each one of those boys has 32 marbles. Luke has 1/4 as many as both of them. And then it asks how many do all 3 boys have all together. So the first thing you have to do, this is 3 steps that you have to figure out, okay? And I know you could do it in your head, but the best thing that you can do for yourself, for your teacher, for, just math, is always to write out how you figured out your steps, because a teacher in math especially can't help you figure out what you did wrong if you don't write it out. So I know you might be thinking, oh, I can do the first step in my head. Please don't. Please go ahead and show me 32. What are you going to do with it? See, some of you are still thinking second grade, like we're third grade now. What do we do with our numbers if they each have, we multiply by 2, okay? So you're going to multiply the number of marbles that they each have by 2, because they each have that same amount. Once you find that amount, then you figure out 1/4 of that number. So then you're going to write 1/4 of that number, or you can write for, going into with a little house and then that number inside. So that what each of them have, the 32 times that 2, whatever answer you get, which I know you can figure it out pretty quickly, divide that by 4. Then you're going to add both of those numbers together, because you're going to know how many Luke has and how many the 2 boys had together. And then you add both of those and you'll find the final answer of marbles that they all had. Then Mr. Wheeler drove 30 miles on Monday, twice as far on Tuesday as on Monday. What does that mean? Multiply by 2. And then 3 times as far on Wednesday as on Monday. Not as on Tuesday, as on Monday. So all you're doing is you're taking that 30 miles, you're multiplying it by 2 and by 3. And then it's asking how many miles did he drive in those 3 days. And then you're going to take those 3 numbers, because he drove 30 miles on Monday, double that for Tuesday, triple that for Wednesday, add those together, and you'll find how many miles he drove in those 3 days. Pretty simple. Then find the averages. And third grade, don't forget, circle the answers. Add carefully as well. Circle the answers, add carefully. Section 3, write the product, but you also have to check your work. We didn't check it today, but you do have to check it, and you know that you check it just by flipping the numbers. Okay, so if it was 49 times 62, the 62 goes on the top and the 49 goes on the bottom. Very simple. Solve and check the equation. You know how to do those. Then measure the sides of each shape to find the perimeter. If you don't have a ruler, you're not going to be able to do that section. Maybe make an educated guess or something, but if you don't have a ruler, you can't really do that side. But if you do, please go ahead, find that, and measure with your centimeters side, centimeters. Then fill in the blank. Section 6, greater than, less than, or equal to. Section 7, you're using your ruler again. So again, if you don't have it, there's not much we can do. But if you do, and please try, maybe, I don't know, you might not even need it after this, but just in case. 14 centimeters and 9 centimeters, and then how much longer is the first line than the last line. Then section 8, follow the signs, really simple. And section 9, find the fractional part. And there's not going to be any remainders, so you won't have to do any mixed numbers. They're all going to be just whole numbers. Then you are going to take quiz 15 out and put your name and date first thing. Section 1, write the products. It's 10, 11, 12, 9 multiplication tables. These are all the ones that we've gone over and should know and have down. Then section 2, write the quotients for many different problems. Yes, I can't even think of the word. Tables, many of the tables. Section 3, find the fractional part of each whole number. If it's not even, then write the answer as a mixed number. Put the fraction there for whatever the remainder is. Please do that, because we're missing that one key almost every time for some of you. Then section 4, reduce to the lowest terms. And section 5, round to the nearest dollar. So round to the nearest dollar, and think those through carefully. Oh, that was one thing I wanted to talk through with you really quickly. $56.72. How would I round that? If it's $56.72, I look at my cents, and if it's over 50, I round up. So it's $56. So I'm going to go up to not 60 because we're rounding to the nearest dollar, not the nearest $10. 57. It's going to be between 56 and 57. If it's 56.72, it's going to round up to 57. What about $13.12? Well, 12 cents is way under 50, so it's going to round down to $13. $51 and $50.50, sorry, because it is 50 and going to be over, then it goes up to 51. $96.98. It's going to round up at only 2 more cents and it'll be at $70, okay, or $97, sorry. So you'll round up. So those are the ones that I want you just to think carefully about. We are doing well with our rounding, but I think with our dollars, we're trying to do it by $10 rather than the nearest dollar. So 56.72 is either going to be 56 or 55. And yes, 55 or 56. And so no, 56 or 57. Oh my goodness. So 56.72 is either going to be $56 or $57. But because it's 72, we're rounding up to $57. $13.12. It's either going to be between 13 and 14. Okay. So it's either going to be $13 or 14, and that's it. $50.50. It's either going to be $50 or 51. $96.98 is either going to be 96 or 97. So so you're not going by tens, you're just going by dollar. So make sure to get that in your mind so it'll make it easier to get some of the problems and things that you might need to know. That's it. So do well on this quiz and do well on your page. You'll get it down, I know. And have a great rest of your day. I love you all. See you later. Bye.